If you feel exhausted but wide awake at night, this isn't overthinking, it's your nervous system staying on guard. It's late at night. You're finally in bed after a long, draining day. Your body feels heavy, your muscles are tired, your eyes want to close, and yet your mind refuses to slow down. If this sounds familiar, you're not broken. This tired but wired feeling is surprisingly common, and there's a real reason your brain does this, even when your body is exhausted. If you've ever experienced this tired but wired feeling, you're certainly not alone. Many people have felt that strange contradiction of a mind that won't quiet down even though their body is begging for rest. You might wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I sleep when I'm so tired? The truth is, nothing is wrong with you. There are understandable reasons your brain can stay alert when your body is exhausted, and knowing them can reassure you that you're not broken or failing. Sometimes the cause of a wide-awake mind is simple and temporary. Maybe you had a cup of coffee too late in the day, and the caffeine is still urging your brain to stay up. Or perhaps you spent the evening staring at a bright screen, a phone, a computer, the TV, and it tricked your brain into thinking it's still daylight. That bright glare can delay the release of melatonin, the hormone that whispers to your body that it's nighttime. In cases like these, a late coffee or too much screen time might be the culprit behind those nights when you can't sleep despite being utterly tired. But what about when this wired yet tired feeling becomes a regular pattern? If you often find your mind buzzing at bedtime, it might be time to look a little deeper. More often than not, the core issue lies in the delicate balance between your mind, your body, and the stress you carry. Modern life doesn't make it easy for our brains to wind down. Think about your day. Constant notifications, worries about work or family, to-do lists that never end. Even if your body is worn out by evening, your brain can still be stuck in go mode. It's like your mind is a motor that's been revving all day and just can't switch off. This creates a mismatch inside you. Your body and brain are meant to slow their pace together as night falls. Stress can throw off their rhythm. Your body tries to step off the dance floor, but your mind is still twirling, convinced the music is still playing. No wonder it feels so hard to sleep. One part of you is pressing the brakes, while the other part is still pressing the accelerator. One reason for this split between a tired body and an awake mind is our natural stress response. We've all heard of the fight or flight instinct, an ancient mechanism that floods us with energy and alertness when we think we're in danger. That reaction was incredibly useful ages ago when physical threats were common. If you were facing a wild animal at night, a surge of adrenaline and cortisol, those stress hormones, could save your life by making you extra alert, fast, and strong.
The trouble is, in today's world, stress often comes from things that aren't truly life or death, like a tough day at work, a traffic jam, or overthinking the future. But your brain doesn't always know the difference. Late at night, if you start worrying about tomorrow or replaying the day's events, that ancient alarm system can switch on at full blast. Your body reacts as if there's an emergency, releasing those same stress hormones. They basically send a message to your whole system. Wake up, stay alert, something's wrong. Your heart might beat faster and your mind refuses to shut down even though you're exhausted. So you end up lying in a quiet, dark room, while internally it feels like you need to be ready for a crisis. Another factor is the balance of chemicals in your brain that regulate sleep and wakefulness. We mentioned melatonin. It's like an evening whisper telling your body it's time to sleep. On the flip side, your brain also has natural calm down signals. Think of them as internal relaxers that help slow your thoughts. In a perfect scenario, as night approaches, those calming signals increase and the brain's alerting signals decrease. But when you're under a lot of stress or your routine is out of whack, this system can get out of tune. Stress floods your brain with stay awake messages and drowns out many of the time to relax ones. It's like trying to hear a lullaby when loud drums are banging away. You might have plenty of melatonin telling your body to sleep, but the stress chemicals are louder, overpowering the message. That's why you can feel utterly sleepy in theory, yet remain wide awake in practice. Your brain stays on standby, as if it doesn't know that it can let its guard down. Consider those moments when you're lying in bed and your thoughts are racing. Maybe you're rehashing a conversation from earlier or worrying about something coming up. Each of those thoughts is like a tiny alarm bell, urging your brain to stay up just a bit longer. Over a busy day, your mind got used to being in constant motion, so when you finally lie down in the quiet darkness, that momentum doesn't just vanish. In fact, with no distractions around, those internal whispers or shouts become even louder. Left alone with your thoughts, your mind might start running in circles, keeping you awake despite how desperately your body wants sleep. Remember, being wide awake when you're exhausted isn't a sign of weakness or a personal failing. It's easy to feel frustrated and blame yourself in those moments. You might think, "I'm so tired, why can't I just fall asleep? What's wrong with me?" But falling asleep isn't like flipping a switch. You can't bully or berate yourself into sleeping. In fact, the more upset you get about being awake, the more you accidentally tell your brain that something's wrong, which makes it even harder to drift off. So try to be gentle with yourself. Your body and your brain are on your side. They're just a bit out of sync right now. How can you nudge your brain to slow down when your body is ready for rest? It starts with creating a sense of safety and calm. That ancient alarm in your brain needs to be convinced that it's okay to relax. One way to help is to create a peaceful scene as bedtime approaches. As night comes, let your world gradually grow dim and quiet. By easing into a calmer routine, turning down the lights, stepping away from the day's stresses, you're sending a signal to your brain that it's safe to unwind. Over time, these little nighttime cues become a familiar comfort, helping your nervous system learn that it's okay to let go. Always remember, you're not alone in this experience. So many people quietly struggle with that maddening contrast between a weary body and a wide-awake mind. It can feel isolating when you're lying in the dark, staring at the ceiling, convinced you're the only person who can't fall asleep. But countless others know exactly that feeling. And it can be comforting to realize that your body isn't betraying you, and your mind isn't trying to torture you. They're just responding to stress and habits, and they can learn a new way to relax with time. With a little self-compassion and consistency, you can gently show your brain that it's okay to loosen its grip at the end of the day. Our bodies truly want to keep us safe, and sometimes our brains stay on guard longer than necessary. But night is your time to rest, not to stand watch. When you find yourself in that familiar situation, body exhausted, mind wide awake, remember that your vigilant brain isn't your enemy. It's only on high alert because it thinks it must protect you. Instead of fighting against it, acknowledge why it's on guard and gently remind yourself that there's no real danger in the dark. There's no fight to win right now, no threat lurking, and no problem that can't wait until morning. You are safe, and it's okay to let go. Your mind might need a little time to ease off the gas pedal, but it will. With patience and kindness, the wave of sleepiness in your body and the wave of calm in your mind will eventually come together. It's like two gentle waves merging into one on a quiet shore. When they finally meet, sleep will softly arrive and every part of you will get the rest it needs.